Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give a guide for Angeal Penance boss and Crisis Core Chapter 5 extra section. Angeal is weak to fire and ice and resists all other elements, but also has a sigil phase where you might need X sigil, but if you have high enough DPS you will just skip that phase. But Angeal will buff his fire or ice resistance. However, in all my runs Angeal has been very consistently buffing his ice resistance and never did anything with fire. But Angeal has a force gauge during which he will protect himself with Veil, and that's where he buffs his ice resistance and will start charging Unleash Wrath, so you need to deplete that gauge before you get hit. But after that first charge attack, if you haven't gotten him below 50% HP, he'll have a sigil phase during which he'll cast Veil on himself again. But as I said, if you have high enough DPS you should be able to skip it. But later in the battle, Angeal will buff his attack and grant himself regen, and after this he'll attack you a lot more. But Rage of Envy is a powerful attack and I recommend switching to defense to reduce the incoming damage, but Charge of Greed debuffs Zack's magic defense and Wings of Pride debuffs Zack's physical and magic attack. For all Crisis Core extra battles I find Ceremonial Sword the best because it deals a lot of damage while buffing Zack's physical attack, so any attack debuffs won't concern you. Then in secondary slot, Enhanced Sword is great for self heal, but you could equip a Cura Materia instead, and Twinkling Star is also a very good secondary weapon as it can debuff magic attack and magic defense at the same time, while also having very good R abilities. But you could go Pressure Ridge for physical ice damage or exclusive Stream Guard for magic fire damage, but I think just going non-elemental with Ceremonial Sword and boosting physical attack, physical ability Bouncy and ability Bouncy is very versatile and always seems to work on Zack. But similar to Genesis battle, I have quite a lot of equipment slots empty to not overkill the boss. Zack has default story outfit with Apocalypse, Ceremonial Sword to buff physical attack, Enhanced Sword for heals, Fire Breach and Fire Blow Materia, X Sigil, and Zack doesn't have any sub-weapons, but I recommend prioritizing boosting physical ability Bouncy first and then generic ability Bouncy second, and could also boost Fire Bouncy too if you are planning to go with similar Zack, but I have 10.2 HP, 2.9 physical attack and moderate defenses. So, Angeal Penance, similar to Genesis, is not a very difficult boss when it comes to mechanics, because I also think a lot of those Crisis Core bosses have been simplified to compensate for Zack being solo and not having a full team, but here you can choose if you want to go Ceremonial or just do some fire blows. But Charge of Greed, it just debuffs your magic defense, so that's fine. All those debuffs that Angeal inflicts are mid, but I am waiting for the next attack, and where is it? Yeah, Wings of Pride, it debuffs your physical and magic attack, so Ceremonial just to nullify that debuff. But soon enough, yeah, here comes the force gauge, and that's why I am going to heal here, because even after you deplete this gauge, Angeal will still hit you, so I just want to be at full HP. But you have more than enough time to get rid of that force gauge. But first we have to go through Veil, and I also have to admit I really like that Veil mechanic that adult Angeal has, because it's the same as the young Angeal. Oh, I forgot. You cannot apply any elemental debuffs as long as Angeal is protected by the Veil. So first you have to nullify it, deplete it, and then you can inflict any debuffs on him. But here, it's fine. I'm just going to heal back. And here, if you want to, on those tiny hits, you can switch to defense, but they don't really hurt you a lot. But I am going to buff physical attack here. And let's see what he does, because I think, yeah, it's the sigil phase. If I would have gotten him below 50% HP, I could have skipped it. But it's very easy sigil phase. And even without sigil boost slot, you can easily break it. Just one more sigil and one attack and we're good. So, same thing. Ceremonial sword now. And I'm also going back to Fire Breach and Fire Blows. This attack is not, it doesn't damage you, but Angeal has buffed attack and also has regen, so his HP will go back to at least half, which is not an issue. But now it's another force gauge, so same thing, just go ceremonial to deplete that first, or fire blow. And as soon as you have depleted that veil, you can just go Fire Breach and Fire Blow. They're both very similar. And I know my HP is not in a very good state, but I know I will survive that. So I'm not going to heal right now. And just heal back, and actually I'm going to heal second time, I think. And now we should be good. Alright, let's go Fire Blows. Thunder of Envy, switch to defense just in case. This attack doesn't really hurt too much, but I find it just better. But Rage of Sloth, switch to defense on that, because this attack, it hurts surprisingly a lot. At least a bit more than the regular ones. But yeah, that's the whole Angeal battle. And at least in extra story mode, it's not difficult. I know that's one day when we get him as a hard battle or event boss, he will be a lot more difficult. But until then, those extra battles are not as difficult as they were in the past, which is not a bad thing. But I hope you found my guide helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.